is the 2019 weekly powered by Youngstar Development Initiative with support from Ford Foundation. 2019 weekly, the voice of youth in politics.
Hello and welcome to 2019 weekly. The general elections are just days away, and yes, we like to keep you abreast of all information concerning election matters. I am Salamatu Al-Hassan.
I am Anne Chukwueke. For me on this show, it is my slogan for today's show is going to be more power to the women and to the youth. Now, considering the fact that INEC has already published the voters register and it records that 47% of voters are women and 51% of voters are actually youth, what does that suggest to you?
I mean, it's an obvious win for us.
Definitely.
Now, let's discuss the pros of this information today on 2019 weekly. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, like we said, we'll be discussing the pros of this information released by INEC. 51% for youths. I mean, what does that say?
For women. Now, considering the fact that the Not Too Young to Run bill obviously has been passed, and then we want to change the narrative of moving from the old generation of leaders to a new generation of leaders. We want to say that, okay, the mantra of, youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but then it's now youth are the leaders of today. Now, if we have 51% of voters as youth, it is more or less for us, to change the narrative, to change the old status quo of what the leadership in Nigeria is. Just change the narrative. Now, it's not about all about we sitting down and say, oh, really, I feel like I could have actually done better than this, this person, because obviously I feel like I'm still in my youthful age, so I've done something. We have youth who are actually, contesting election. Why not channel this energy in making sure that you vote for these people if you consider them as actually the right people to deliver what you want them to deliver?
I was talking to someone earlier today, and he said, in other countries, youths, people from ages from 18 to 35 are people who make the decisions in the country. I mean, if they cough, they know.
Now let's look at the other dimension. We are talking about gender inequality in Nigeria's political landscape, and we have 47% of women who are actually, the voters, like that constitute the voters of this 2019 general election. So if we are talking about gender inequality in Nigeria's political landscape, and we also want to bridge or close in on this gap, it is time for us as women, if we see that other women are there who are trying to represent our own plight and needs, it's time for you to go
vote for them.
Do that and vote for them. And then the next thing is that the whole media, the world media is changing narrative and say, oh, Nigeria is someone. It's already changing, moving in line of closing in on gender inequality in Nigeria's political landscape.
Yes, and there will be no story of low women representation anymore.
That is over.
47% is almost half.
This time it's time for us to change the whole narrative.
I think women should avoid thinking that if that woman is there, she's not going to do anything.
Don't have the power.
They don't have the power. They don't have the vision. They don't have they don't have the strength to handle politics. I don't think
I've seen women doing great things already. I've met women. I've met women who are actually there for our needs, because we can't actually push bills in the legislative arm of the government if we don't have women who understand what it takes to be a woman, what it takes to push things that actually favor us. So it's time for us to go out there right now and do right by these women and push Nigeria to a greater good.
Now, it's not only about figures. I mean, there are other factors that will determine whether this is good or
not
a bad thing for the country.
Now, remember we said that we have 47% of women who are constitute the voters for this 2019 general election. We also said that we have 51% of youth who constitute the voters for this 2019 election. Fine, we've stated the pros, we've stated the advantage, how we can change the narrative. But we also know that there are also disadvantages if we decide to sit back, because looking at the fact that about voters' apathy in the last general election, more than half of the voters of youth actually did not vote. And then are we going to bring back this same trend down to 2019 general election? And we want a change. Now, how about we also talking about the voters' apathy that we want to actually spring up among the youth or among the women? It is something. It's actually something that we need to talk about, especially voters' apathy.
Yeah, and INEC has stated their concerns that there may be less people coming out to vote. Even with the numbers that we have, 84 million, I think, or thereabouts, that the voters might come out very few. And this is because of the voters' apathy, especially within youth. If they don't make up their minds right now and go out to vote, then it's of no use, whether 51% or even 99%.
Again, I think we should not all just look away from the fact that people have this mindset, or voters have this mindset of insecurity or violence. That is also an issue to be discussed. Now, fine. What something that may actually cause voters apathy is the sense that, oh, I don't want to go and vote because I may lose my life. But then again, if we look at the trend of different interventions by different NGOs or CSOs in ensuring that they mitigate violence and sensitize people towards that we should not partake in electoral violence, we should actually have that hope that people have this mindset that they want a better Nigeria. Violence may actually cause voters apathy, so we also need to watch that space again.
Yeah, and also even if these youths go out to vote, now they not voting the right person is also a huge challenge. You are supposed to vote visionary leaders, leaders who have good visions and plans for the country. But if you just follow the trend and say, I'm just going to vote for this party, or because everybody is going towards this side, I'm also just going towards this side. I'm using my PVC, of course. I'm being useful, but of course I'm just going to do what everybody else is doing because you think your vote will not count. I mean, they shouldn't think that way. That is wrong. So if 51% of the population right now think that way and go ahead and vote, using this mindset, it's going to be a big issue for Nigeria.
Sure. I'm sure we don't want that part. Now we don't, and like for some people that say that, okay, when I hear some discussions and the people say that they rejected Nigeria that they have today, and I'm like, okay, what exactly did you do in the previously? And then you are rejecting the Nigeria you have today, and then you sit back and tell me you're not going to go and vote. I'm definitely excited. I'm sure also they're ready to decide your future come 2019 general election. All the way, people. This is what we get to draw our curtains on today's episode of 2019 Weekly Show. My name is Anne Chukwuemeke.
And I am Salamat Al Hassan.
Remember, the best time for you to run, win, and impact is now.